Well, there's beauty in the abstract, I guess. Have you asked the Department of Ecology head? Huh, she's not wrong. But that doesn't feel entirely right either.
Huh? What did I say?
Huh. Now that you mention it, I have a wild hypothesis, but it needs verifying. Let's call it a day. Wait for me. I'll be in touch.
Adler seems to have gotten a lead, but what was the information I forgot? And from whom? Let's go over it from the start. I may have overlooked something. Oh, right. Asta mentioned another name.
I figured you'd come to me to uncover the truth. I'm sorry. The situation is very delicate. I can't say anything except that it's a secret mission. Look, how did you know?
Just as I thought. I vaguely remember that Arlen said more. It's related to the thing I forgot.
Immer diese Erinnerungslücken.
My memories of Arlen and Adler are hazy. I need to remember the other person Asta mentioned.
Pinkeln und?
A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body. Sorry, but nothing comes to mind.
Ich möchte eine Erinnerungslücke benutzen.
How's it going? Did you find the information you're after? I see. Is that what Hinkle and think? At least that counts as a lead. See? My researchers are pretty outstanding. Just business as usual. Nothing to worry about. After the Legion's invasion, the space station has been under constant scrutiny. Physical damage can be easily repaired, but it takes a long time to heal the wounds in people's hearts. Some researchers have been questioning the management and security of the space station ever since the invasion. Things had settled down a bit with the reconstruction efforts, but the researchers' disappearances have rattled them again. Yes, 4 researchers have inexplicably disappeared in a matter of days. No exit logs, no traces. Vanished. People were just starting to regain their footing after the catastrophe. I didn't want panic to spread, so I suppressed the reports and told the security department to investigate in secret. However, as you can see, it's hard to keep secrets in a sardine can like this. Rebuilding trust is harder than establishing it in the first place. I'm concerned someone's pulling strings to sway public opinion. Anyway, the most important thing is to get to the bottom of the disappearances. That's okay, but thank you for the offer. Aren't you helping Madame Herta with something already? Oh, by the way, I heard about the thing mentioned, and I'll look into it too. I'll find a way to solve the problem for the space station.
So I did consult someone else other than Hinkle. The only thing I remember is that they're from the Department of Insight. The other person should be from the Department of Insight. I need to remember who it is.
Well, I might be the Department of Ecology head, but I'm not the most knowledgeable person when it comes to people are growing more and more distrustful of the Never mind, I shouldn't be telling you this. It's something that we researchers need.
Okay, die sagt mir nichts Neues. Wie muss ich da wieder rein?
The other person should be from the Department of Insight. I need to remember who it is. Identifying that person is crucial. It could be the key to making sense of everything.
Der mit sich selbst spricht.
Hey, what brings you here, Rich? It's been so long.
I'm not that wonderful. I'm just okay.
It's all taken care of. As long as the money's there, it's all good. Here's the account you asked for. It's legit and secure, allowing you to connect straight to the intranet.
Sure. Can I help you with something?
Oh, you flatter me. I'm just a peddler doing a little business on the side. Small scale. Best left under the table. But if you ever make it big in the guild, don't forget your humble friend, okay?
Again? How many times has it been? You're really pushing my buttons.
Here too. My memories are just a jumbled mess of words. Did my memory piece together irrelevant information? Now I remember. The other person is Emily. She was at the base zone. What did Emily say?
Emily. Ist da die Emily dabei?
I'm gonna tell you something. Make sure you don't tell anyone else.
Of course. My lips are sealed. Not a word to anyone.
The multiple disappearances? They're all for real.
Seriously?
Shh! Why are you being so loud?
Das war nicht Emily.
It's been so long and there's still no response.
There's something fishy going on. How come they haven't recovered anything? I don't believe it. They're hiding something.
Those managers are useless.
Auch keine Emily. Wenn?
Hey, what brings you here, Rich?
All right. Just cut the pleasantries and tell me how it's going.
It's all taken care of. Here's the account you asked for. It's legit and...
I have faith in your abilities. So, how about my offer?
Oh, you flatter. Small scale. Best left under the table.
Sure thing. Anyway, keep your eyes...
I say, what a wonderfully intelligent-looking young lady.
I'm
Emily!
not that wonderful. I'm just okay.
No need to be modest. At my age, you get a feel for intelligence. Though I confess I did hear someone say you were the shining star of the Department of Insight.
Sure. Can I help you with something?
See this material here? People are so inconsiderate. How's someone like me supposed to make out the small print? I'm not getting any younger, and my eyesight is failing. Do you think you can...
Again? How many times has it been? You're really pushing my buttons.
Oh, another smart-looking youngster. Wonderful. It's about time we had some new recruits.
Huh. Asta told you to find me? A curio that doesn't have a body but is alive. Isn't the Department of Ecology full of curio experts? That's got nothing to do with the Department of Insight. However, I've heard of such a species. A colleague who came back from a business trip said that the Xianzhou Alliance has life forms like that. Don't get me wrong, I was merely relaying information. I didn't mean I'd help you. The atmosphere on the space station has been getting stranger lately. It's risky taking sides.
The Xianzhou species Emily mentioned seems to be what inspired Adler. The disappearances Asta mentioned are likely related to Arlen's investigations too. Now I should be able to tie everything together. The Xianzhou species Emily mentioned seems to be what inspired Adler.
I figured you'd come to me to uncover the truth. I'm sorry. The situation is very delicate. I can't say anything except that it's a secret mission.
Na super. Geht es um Miep?
Just as I thought, I vaguely remember that Arlen said more. It's related to the thing I forgot.
I'm sorry. The situation is very...
Geht es um die verschwundenen Forscher?
How did you know? I see. Could you also tell that Lady Asta was feeling the pressure? I'll be honest with you. It's been tough. The surveillance didn't capture anything regarding the researcher's disappearance. There's only one clue. Adler observed that the automatic fire suppression system was momentarily activated around the time the disappearances occurred.
Mach's Feuer.
That means that every
Es
victim's
lebt, aber hat keinen
disappearance
Körper.
was accompanied by some inexplicable fire. When we made visits to the scenes, some of the witness testimony seemed to agree with this. The words they used were spontaneous combustion of the human body.
Echt?
Have you asked the Department of Ecology head? Huh, she's not wrong. But that doesn't feel entirely right either.
Huh? What did I say?
Immer diese Erinnerungslücken.
Huh, she's not wrong. But that doesn't feel entirely right either. Ah, that's right! They're called heliobi.
Heliobi
I
schon
guess you
wieder.
could say that wubbaboos and heliobi are sort of like cousins. Both are types of energy life form. Huh. Now that you mention it, I have a wild hypothesis, but it needs verifying. Let's call it a day. Wait for me. I'll be in touch.
Spontaneous combustion of the human body. That is most likely the truth. Let me remember my initial conversation with Herta, just in case.
Heliobi.
No, not this road. I didn't go there.
Ach, da hinten geht's weiter mit der Erinnerung.
I need to go over it from the start. Starting with the conversation I had with Herta.
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's a
Heliobi?
alive, but it doesn't have a body.
Kann ich
Send me a
jetzt,
signal when you see traces of it.
kann ich das jetzt wieder herstellen?
I think she mentioned something important, but I can't remember.
Heliobi? 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 Heliobi?
If only there were some hints, then maybe...
Heliobi? 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 Heliobi?
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. Send me a signal when you see traces of it. That's not the point. I wouldn't be bothering with it if it didn't have something to do with the Genius Society. Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if you want someone to help you.
So, spontane Selbstentzündung menschlicher Körper, Heliobis, Wababus und anderes Zeug.
I commend your stamina for recounting that interminable tale. You must be exhausted. My ears certainly are. So, to sum it up, the last time you laid eyes on Herta was in her office, She sent you on a wild goose chase for some trinket, the curio. After which you knew nothing else until Lady Asta contacted you. If that's the narrative you're sticking to, then indulge me. Who, pray tell, can substantiate this captivating drama?
Ja, da. Asta.
Affirmation. We can ask Herta herself.
Well, if you lace up those boots and start sprinting now, you might just catch the IPC shuttle in 4 system hours. But as it stands, not a single soul can corroborate her story.
Mr. Ratio, your style of questioning would seem to have a preconceived bias.
Apologies, it's an unfortunate habit of mine. When one is immersed in academic research, skepticism comes far more naturally than belief. It is also the most efficient method, judging from my experience. Seeking answers with a negative hypothesis in mind is still valid research. It can still help us reach the truth. If she is truly innocent, she can clear her name with answers. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment. And the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name.
I remember now. Back then...
Falsche benutzt.
That's enough pretending. Please be quiet. And the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name.
Herta didn't mention the name of the curio. We were talking about something else, and she just mentioned it in passing. However, she did give a thorough description of the curio. I didn't make that up.
True. You wouldn't be able to make that up.
Why do I feel like I'm being looked down on?
And the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name. Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet, she singles out one nameless ordinary curio?
I doubt Herta is interested in the curio itself.
Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment.
If you knew Herta, then you wouldn't find it weird.
Don't interrupt other people. Did no one teach you manners?
Halt die Fresse, Kaltleiste.
Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted, and the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet, she singles out one nameless ordinary curio? It's hard for me to imagine.
The curio isn't the point. Herta was only addressing it because of its relation to the Genius Society.
I would imagine the curio is the creation of a genius. Affirmation. It holds some special meaning to Herta.
Yes. That seems logically sound. Then you said you asked Asta for help with the lost curio. However, she decided to hold her tongue until now?
I remember now. Back then...
That's enough however, she decided to hold her tongue until now? So what's the story? Are you full of fanciful fiction? Or is Asta the one hoarding secrets like they're going out of style?
The space station has been very distrustful of its higher management ever since the Antimatter Legion's invasion.
Muss die Karten oder die Antworten zur richtigen Zeit ausspielen.
Another severe incident would further
wenn das dann da
intensify
so
suspicion and cause great internal
so
strife.
strahlmäßig von einem abgeht, dann hat man das Richtige gesagt.
Oh. So that explains why Lady Asta approved of my participation. After all, the Intelligentsia Guild's representative wouldn't be linked to the space station, but would still share the IPC's position. They wouldn't be partial to anyone, but would still act for the space station's benefit. Two birds with one stone. Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting out that mess has been thrust upon Arlen, head of the security department. Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked. Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making. Clearly, researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting out that mess has been thrust upon Arlen, head of the security department.
Yes, I ran into Arlen when looking for Adler.
Adler?
A level 2 researcher. According to the Department of Ecology head, he knows more about curios than anyone else. He happened to be helping Arlen investigate the disappearances.
Well, did he enlighten you?
Adler seemed to have had an idea at the time, but he never contacted me again.
Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting out that mess has been thrust upon Arlen, head of the security department. Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked. Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
Doubt me all you like. I'm just an outsider who got unexpectedly dragged into this mess. You and I are no different. We both stumbled into this, but you decided to assume the role of interrogator.
Oh? Your point being? Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
Passt zwar nicht, aber...
I remember now. Back then...
That's enough pretending. Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
Nochmal das.
I remember now. Back then...